righty, everyone. Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm here with Nick Hunter, who is one of our ace file developers and trainers primarily. Nick, you spend what, about a third of your time doing training and about 2/3 of your time doing development, helping customers?
Yeah.
So welcome to fmtrain.tv, where you can get the latest, greatest FileMaker training. As I adjust my camera as I move around a little bit, I do apologize. You're feeling better today? People want to know if you're in the hospital, Nick. You're feeling better today?
Yeah, I'm feeling good today. Runny nose, that's it.
If you go to our website, if you go to fmtraining.tv, you can see the latest upcoming broadcast information right here. We can still see you, Nick, so don't do anything unsavory on TV. You come to the website, you can see live training, our current courses, bundles, etc. We are actively working on all this stuff, including the book. It was been in work on it today, and while you were talking today with Nick about the extend and constrain find function, which it's a great topic because people don't really use it too much. People don't know about it, so it's a good topic to add to your skill set in terms of managing FileMaker found sets of data. You can see the upcoming training schedule by pressing the live button right there. You can see the upcoming schedule. Today is Nick, Constrain and Extend with Nick. Then tomorrow is going to be 2 days. We're going to try to get 2 days out of it with on the inspection form. It's another form. We'll also bring back the manifest. If there's questions about the manifest, we had two. Basically, well, we got more than two junior projects, but two kind of coaching junior engineer projects where they've been building solutions. We're giving them away. And they're basically, one's kind of a manifest, a cargo manifest or personnel manifest for travel, a boat, ship, chauffeur, limousines, that kind of stuff. If you have to have a manifest of what is on your vehicle, then it's useful for that. And then tomorrow and Wednesday, I'm interrogating or interviewing, depends on how you want to look at it, these engineers about how they did what they did and how they what they learned from that. So once again, more of a junior conversation tomorrow. If you want to support the channel, make sure that you have a bundle. If you're getting value from the FileMaker platform, definitely pick up one of the bundles, and that helps support the channel so we can pay the bill. Because guess what? While Nick is here, I do get billed for his time. So surprisingly as that is, it's not free. He doesn't do it out of the goodness of his heart. He wants to be paid. I can't imagine why. All right, so I'm going to make you your full screen here. Everyone say hi to Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hey. Okay. Yes. Walking for free. That's a good idea. You never walk though. So yeah, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, today is more about junior and intermediate people, or for those who never use those commands, those script steps. So we are talking about constrain and extend a found set. So for that, we need to understand what is a found set, So we are going to cover this a little bit to explain what the found set is, which is a basic. And then we are going to explore more the constraint and the extend. So constrain and extend is not used too much by people because they have a weird behavior. The extend and the constraint script steps or commands they have a kind of a weird behavior. So because of this, people are giving up pretty much the usage of those because they say, oh, I don't know how to handle this, it's unpredictable, right? So pretty much that was the feeling of people when they use this. So what they do, they try to overcome the issue by using the perform find exclusively, but not using the constraint or the extend. Okay, so we are going to cover that. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to start with this. Okay, so what is a found set? It's a group of records that you obtain in many ways. You have many ways to obtain a found set. Okay, so a found set. So you have all your what's the name? All your records here, right? This is all your records, and you get a found set when you, for example, you copy this. You have a whatever, and you find something, and you say, oh, I want to find this. Okay. And then this is a found set. So you just create a found set. So when you go to find mode, here, you have the perform find, constraint found set, or extend found set. Okay. So this is where it starts to be hairy. The perform find, they should have call that create found set, because this is what it's doing, is creating a found set pretty much. When you perform a find, you create a found set. You start with a found set, can be anything, can be those record, can be show all. This is a found set as well. Okay, so show all, you have the totality of your records. Okay, and then you find something, and then you have a group of records within a bigger ensemble of records. Right? Exactly what I've done. When you say, okay, I go to find mode, I want to find something, this ID, and then you perform a find. Now I have my found set. So this is one way to get the found set. The other way to get a found set, okay, which is 9 record out of the 80,000 that I have left. Okay, so you have 9 record, 80,000. Okay, and you can toggle this. You can select the unselect, and the 9 record you select, or all the other record, but not the 9 record that I have. So you can toggle this. This is what this is doing. You can toggle the 9 or everything that is not part of the 9. Okay, so that's another way to get a found set, is to use, for example, I'm here in this record here, okay, and this account record, and I have those records here. I have 18 records that are related to that account. When I click here, I have a go to related records. That means I have a command that says, okay, create me a found set out of those related records based on this. This is exactly what it's doing. Go to related record, and then you get a new found set, okay, of 11 people, okay? So that exactly this is the copy of this. So you have those related records showing on a portal, and you have this command here we call go to related record, go to related record here. So I want to go to the related record with the contacts. This is the name of the relationship. I want to go to the related record based on that relationship, the contacts relationship. So what I'm doing is this here, get record from the contacts relationship using the layout you want to go. FileMaker is smart enough to show you only the layouts that are successful to show the records. Only those layout can show the records. Okay, and then you say, okay, I want to show me only what's the related records, the matching record. Okay, so this is how you can get a found set as well. So let's use this. So let's click here, and I have a new record, a new window with a new found set. Okay, so far so good. So far it's easy to understand what a found set is. It's a group of records that I'm selecting this group. I'm extracting a group of records within a bigger group of records. Okay, this is what is a found set. So far no questions. Heavy bag. Okay, no question. Okay, so now we have this. I want to play a little bit with this. So I have my found set. So now within a found set, remember when you are in found mode, you have constrain and found and extend. You have those two. You perform the find, then you have the constraint, and then you have the found set. So what the constraint mean? What constraint mean? So let's say I have, for example, I have Jade here. Okay, I have a Jade record, Jade Conrad. Okay, let's say I want to, I'll go find mode, and I want to constrain in the found set. I want only to show the Jade record. I want to find within the found set. I want to find the Jade where you have the first name Jade records within those 11. Okay, you know what I mean. Okay, let me open a new window here. So within this 11 records, I want to extract Jade from this. Okay, so I'm going to find mode, paste Jade here, and then I'm not doing perform find. No. I want to constrain inside the current font set. This is what it's doing. Bim. So I made a font. So I found 11 records. And within this related record, I constrained only to show Jade. What would happen if I had said, find Jade? This would have happened, right? But I didn't say that. I said within this 11th, constraint is pretty much is performing a find in a find. Okay, so I made this, this search. I have this font set, and now I want to constrain to Jade. Okay, right? And so this is how you do. And I want to constrain. For example, you can go more than that. I want to constrain. Oops, it's not the font. It's not the. I want to constrain Jade, and I want to constrain Iris. So I have two requests now, Jade and Iris. Two requests. I want to constrain those two per person from the 11 that I have. I constrain. Bam. I have those two now within the font set. So this can be useful. Now you understand how it could be useful. Okay? Because you can now have more, let's say you have more control in your search. So now, where you can get your ravioli in ebullition. Okay, so now you know what that means. Let's say I want to play a little bit more with this, okay? And I want to do something crazy. And that will be something more useful. I found those 11, but I want to remove all the, what's the name? Let's say I want to remove all Jade and Iris from this list. I want to remove them automatically. So I have 11, and I want to remove those people, those two people. So how I'm doing this? Going to find mode, and I still say Jade. I omit Jade, and I omit Iris. So within a font set, my constraint is not searching for Jade and Iris, is going to omit Jade and Iris from my 11 records. So now, if I go there and I say constraint font set with the omits, now I have 9 records. The 11 minus Jade and minus Iris. Okay? So this is where it is important. Agent Chevy is mentioning the omits record. Okay, I'm going to come from here. I'm going to go there on the omit, but the omit is not doing at all the same thing. Okay, the omit record. Can you go back on the omits? Can you go back on? I don't understand. Okay, never mind.
Can you go backwards? Probably in the process. Is that what he's referring to?
Oh yeah, you can. You use extend. Okay, thank you for that, because that will be the next demonstration. So you saw now what you can do is extend with the constraints. You constrain within a block. You have a block of 11 records, and inside you can extract 2 of them, or you can extract 2 of them, or you can just remove 2 of them. Okay, like for example, let's say I'm starting again with my font set here. Okay, and I want to constrain to a font mode. I want to constrain all the font with 4 or 8. I don't want the font with 4 or 8. I don't want those people. I omit those people and I constrain the 4 or 8, and I don't have the 4 or 8 people anymore. Oh yeah, it's indexing the field because I never used that. He's not doing that. He will do that once and then it will be done. So now see, I omitted the 2. I have 2 with 4 or 8. That means all the font numbers with 4 or 8 I don't want. Let's say I found my people and I don't want the 4 or 8. So instead of having a completely crazy perform find where you have omit and include and you request, and sometimes you can have a very complicated fonts perform find script set. We are going to look at this, but you can use that instead. You can perform a find, a regular find, and then you constrain within the find, right? So it's faster, most of the time faster and easier to understand what's going on here. So now I want to do the opposite here. So let's say I have my font set without Jade and Iris. Okay, so I have my font set without the Iris and Jade and Iris, and I want to include, I want to add, I want to extend this to Jade and Iris. I want to add this. Okay, so here what happened. So I have my 9 people, and I say, okay, I want to add Jade. I want to extend my font set with Jade. Okay, but here you have a problem, and here why? Because there's a lot of Jades in my font set, in my solution, in my records. I have all those Jade people. Okay, all of those Jade people. So here, this is not at all what I wanted to do. I wanted to add Jade and Iris within this block. And you can see this block has, the reason why I have this font set is because I selected all the accounts of this ID. So I did a font set like this. This what clicking here and opening those related record to that account, or copy this ID, go there and perform that exactly the same thing. That's why sometimes, most of the time, I'm using go to related record to open the big picture, the big font set, the main font set I'm opening with this command, and then within it I'm playing with the extend and constraints. Okay, so let's say, as I said, I don't have Jade. Okay, hold on. I need to keep this one. Okay, I don't have Jade here. Jade is gone. Jade is gone. And we saw that if we extend with Jade, we saw that, I'm doing again, if I'm extending, I have within my 9 record, I have all those Jade people, right? So I extend those, I have all my people, but I extend to all the Jade something, Jaden, Jade, they're all the Jades something, they get added. And this is not at all what I want to do here. What I want to do, here, let's say I don't have Jade, let's say it's gone, okay? And I want to extend the Jade that I missed, okay? I copy this ID, right? And then I'm going font set, and I say, okay, I want Jade with this ID, and I want to extend to my current font set. So now I'm going to get only the record I want. Now Jade is back, right? I'll do it again. Jade is not part of this font set, okay? So I do this, I search Jade with this ID, and then I extend the font set. So I get back the Jade. So you see the constraint, we get rid of Jade, right? And extend, get Jade back. But as you noticed, I didn't have to say to omit Jade from the font set. I didn't have to say, oh, I want to. I didn't have to inform that it was from this ID, because they are all from this ID. Okay, so let's have something a little bit more complicated. Now I have 2 Jades. I have Jade Hunter and I have Jade Conrad. Okay, so let's say I want to constrain. That means I want to get rid Jade Hunter. I don't want Jade, but I want Jade Conrad. So it's very easy. You guessed it. You get here, you said this. So now I have two things here. I have two criterias. I have the first name and the last name. So now I can omit those people and I can use the constraint font set, and boom, I still have Jade Conrad, but I don't have Jade Hunter anymore. So you need to inform, you need to be precise exactly what you want to do. Let's say that perform find is the big artillery that you arrive on the battlefield with the big artillery. Okay, and then the constrain and extend, it's more like the little squadron, for like snipers that they're going to shoot exactly where you need to shoot, and not the big things, right? So this is what you need to do now. You need to learn how to combine the perform find, the extend, and the constraint. So if we have any question, this is the moment, but I don't think we have. So I'm going to continue. Hello. So now that I have this, let's play a little bit with the scripts, because so far I used the find mode and constrain and extend here. Okay. But now I want to use my scripts here. Okay. So let's copy those three here. Let's say here. Okay. Now I don't know if you're familiar with this, but let's start with the first. Perform find. Okay. So perform find. Okay. They are all the same. They all have the same perform find, constrain, and extend. They all have the same structure. When you open them, you always have this window here, dialogue, that gets many people sick, because it's kind of a little bit complicated to use sometimes. Okay, so you have the perform find, you have the constraint font set. We use exactly the same kind of a panel here, specifying find request, and so that's what makes the thing completely and impossible to understand for beginners or intermediate people. They talk about specify find request on perform find, and they talk about specify find request in constraint, and they talk about specify find request in extend. So why? Is because they use exactly the same panel for the free, without giving you more information about what is going to happen here. Okay, so pretty much this dialogue here is nothing else than the representation of this. When you can create as many requests as you want. Okay, without requests, you can have multiple criteria of searching. You have one here, one here, one here, one here. You can omit, include, and you can use an operator, which is I'm not going to get there, but you can use all of those in your search. This is more a Swiss knife of the search. You have the perform find, that was the artillery, and then you have the extend and the constraint, that more the snipers, and this is the Swiss knife. Okay, so we go small. Okay, on the search. So this here is exactly, you have the same here. So you see, by the way, I just did this. See, I created a request, right? I put criteria here, and then I open a brand new perform find dialog, and everything I put there is there now. So this is a good way. So let's destroy this and do another one. Let's say I want to find those people. I want to find this. Okay, I just did it. I went to find mode. I pasted this, I say include, okay? So now I'm opening a brand new perform find, brand new. Just after I did this and I created a brand new perform find. I open this and I say specify, bam. Everything comes automatically. So for you, for anybody that is below 40 years old, cannot understand that behavior, because that was the behavior of the original FileMaker, FileMaker 1.0. We could, if we wanted to store, if we wanted to store a found set like this, we had to go to the found mode, make it real, make the found set, make the find criteria request that we wanted, and then we were going to the scripts and say restore the last one. I don't know, Richard, you remember that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Restore.
Since then, yeah. Hello. Yeah.
No, you're good. I'm agreeing.
Yeah. So since then, FileMaker kept that behavior, but that is a good way. I'm using that technique a lot. I'm doing especially when I have a lot of things, let's say I have a complicated find request, okay, with multiple requests, and I have a greater than this, and I have a different than this, and I want I want a character before this number. Let's say I have a complicated thing like this, okay? So, and I don't want to deal with this dialog here. So I do a perform find, right? And I click on specify, and boom, they come like by magic, instead of doing that, by myself. So if you want to do it by yourself, okay, let's say you want to do it by yourself, this is how it works. You open new, you say, okay, I want the IDF account to be equal to this, and then you add it. So now you have your find record, But if you want to do another request, you need to say new and new and new and new, and you create as many requests as you want here. This is the equivalent of this row. And when you create more and more and more, okay, you create more requests, okay? But that's another topic. But I wanted you to know. So let's say I want this now. I want to perform find, okay? I want to, and what this perform find do, let's say I have short. What this perform find do is doing this. Bam. I have those, okay? And now I have this guy here. I want to constrain. For example, I want to eliminate the 408, okay? Instead of having a very complicated, in my opinion, unnecessarily complicated phone, and so you want the phone to be 408, so what you need to do here, you need to create a new omit, and then you go to phone, and then you say 408, right? And you add this. So now you have two things. You have find those records, and then you have omit those records. Okay, so this will do exactly the same thing as perform find and then constrain. Okay, but you understand that this is not as efficient. This is more complicated. Okay, so let's say I don't want to do that. I want to do a perform find, okay, and then I want to use the constraint, and I want to constrain the found set to say I want to omit those records, okay? So this will do exactly the same results, okay? When you have something that simple, it's fine. You know what I mean? It's fine. You can use that technique here, to add the found, and you find those records, and then you omit, and then you do whatever you want. But when you have a complicated found set, or if, for example, in my example here, let's say I want this. I want to go to So I want this. Let's say I have a go to records. So let's say I'm here. See, I want to open those records, and then I want to constrain and remove the 408. In that situation, constraint is extremely valuable, okay? Because if you perform fine, you can pretty much do what you want in perform fine. Even though, as I said, make a perform fine simple, and then have a constraint found set simple. Having two simple blocks together is less complicated than having a big, fat, complicated block, you know? But in that particular situation, where I'm saying go to the record and constrain the found set to eliminate all the 408, all the font with 408, this is what is interesting. So let's debug this, okay? First, I said go to the record. So this is exactly what he's doing. He created, I have 12 records because I created the Jade Hunter. Remember, I created that guy. Okay, and now I'm constrained those guys. Bam, I removed. So now I have 10 records. So you know what I mean? So let's do it again. So I'm here. I said, okay, I want to go to red records, and I want to constrain the 408, right? So this is how it's done with constraint. So now let's say, okay, I want to combine, for example, I want to use the extend instead, okay? So let's say I have those records, but I want to add on top of those records, you know, so I want to extend, I want to use extend found set, okay? And I want to add on top of those all the, so I will be on contacts. I want to add in the account, I want the account ID this on top of this, okay? And I want to constrain my found sets. Again, I want to eliminate all the found with 408. Those are omits. So you see here, you have the combination of three things. First, I start with this. This is my main found set creation. I create a found set with the go to record, okay? This is my main thing. Then I want to extend those. And then I want to constrain. The new extend will create another found set. I mean, we will extend the current found set. That's why they call that extend. And then I'm going to constrain the found set. I want to eliminate the 408. So let's see how this will work. So I'm here, right? So I go to red record. So I have 12 records, okay? Then I extend. Now I have 28. Why? Because I remember I extend with the DA. You know, I start with the A7, and now I have the DA because that's the one I want to extend to. Okay, and then I have how many 408 I have? I will have only 2, but it's okay. So let's constrain the 408. So now let's say I want to constrain the 408. And I want to constrain, let's say 408, you know, let's put some more. So now I want to make something more complicated here. I want the, which one was it? Hold on, I don't remember. It was a 960, right? 961, okay. So I want 961, I don't remember. Let's put this instead, 901, okay. So I want to constrain all the phones with 408, and I add a new request, and I want to constrain all the phone in contacts with 901. So now I have 2 constraints, 408 and 901, okay? And in the same one, get rid of Jade, by the way, you know. First name, get rid of Jade, but hold on, only Jade 100, not the other one. Not so I'm adding this one. Sorry, I'm adding this one. Add, and I'm going here and I say last, and I say okay, 100. So this is why this dialogue is getting people epileptic, because it's you click here, you click here, you click here. It doesn't clear this. This add and change and remove is kind of it's not intuitive at all. Let's be honest. Okay. So here what I'm doing, I'm going to omit the records, the contact first Jade, and the contact class enter. But that is in one request. So now I have 3 requests here. I'm going to omit records here. I'm going to omit the 901, the 48, the 901, and I want to omit the record with the contact first Jade and the contact class enter. So see, you can extend and constrain. It's like it's a sniper, like I'm shooting. Okay, the last name, the first name, it's a sniper. Okay, so let's see how it works. So I still have my go to record at 12 records. Then I extend to 28. And now I'm constraining all the 911, the 48s, and the Jade Hunter. Bing. No more Jade Hunter, but Jade Conrad still here. And there's no 48 and no 901, 911. Okay? So, see the advantage and the benefits of this. David Angel asks, artillery is a perform file. Constraint set. Constrain extend is, and the Swiss knife is the operators. This is a Swiss knife. Operators. So you see, you have because if you want to describe what is a find action, you look for, you have a request, you say, okay, this is my request. I want Jade, right? That's my request. But which style? So now what you want to do with this, okay? I want to omit that guy, But this is where it starts to be a little bit complicated for new people, okay? Each, like for example, I want Iris, right? So I want to look for Iris, I want to omit, and I want to include Iris and omit Jade. So there's no way here in looking those requests here, there's no way to know what you're doing here. There's no way to know that you are omitting this. See, let's say you don't see this, okay? There's no way for you to know that what you're going to do here, okay? So that is a problem for the understanding of people. And then you have the operators, which is already, it's another story. It's a big other story. But I know, Richard, you have a fantastic course on this.
Yeah, we talked about this. I mean, all these topics we kind of talk about. I haven't played with Constrain and Extend too much, but we spent a lot of time going through what we call special operators, right? And people go, "What's a special operator?" Is like Delta Force? Like, nah, well, kind of, I guess. But yeah, it's the learning how to use these is extraordinarily useful. I think it's very valuable, especially the ones that are down below. The ones that are in that second down that group in there is like crazy good. The top group is pretty obvious: greater than, less than, date range, like a first date, last date, things like that. But and then the match of the word or an exact perfect match is a 2 equals. Those are great at the top. That one right there, Nick was at the bottom one there. If you're looking in a database, everyone at apple.com, but they're emails, right? So you'd put that second for the bottom one there, Nick, and you would have the asterisk with 2 quotes, and you put apple.com in there, and it'd find everyone from there. Yeah, so it's pretty neat stuff. So it's a great topic there. So,
but okay. Here the catch. Maybe we can do here why the people doesn't use the constraint and the extend is because everybody's focusing on perform fine, and that's a mistake. because as I said, yes, you need the artillery, you need that, but sometimes it doesn't work, because it's too heavy, it's too big, You just need a sniper. That okay, I have this font set, okay, big, okay, like I did here, I want a font set, I want find me those guys, right? So that's what I want. Font set, perform fine, find those. Okay. Now I have the font set. It's okay. It's fast because you have one criteria. You need to understand something is when you perform a find, more you add is like a horse, more you add on his back, slower he will get, okay, and less far you're going to go, okay. Sometimes it's better to have plenty of small, super fast action, pam, 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 like this, instead of having one big giant and impossible to debug crap, and then it will be slow, it won't work, it won't do the job because you miss something or stuff like that, right? So sometimes it's better to construct something like this and say, okay, I'm using the best tool I have. For example, when you want to display related records, the best way is not to copy this and perform fine on this, okay? Like we were doing in FileMaker 2.0. This is what we were doing in FileMaker 2.0. We were copying this, right? And then we were pasting, FileMaker 2.0, this is what we're going. Copy, and we were selecting the field and say, okay, I want to copy this, okay? Go to layouts, and we were going to the layout contacts, I want to finish this because it is important to understand. You go there, you go to find mode, because I know people doing that still, okay? Find mode, enter find mode. Okay. Then you will paste, you say go to a field, and you were going to the field, you were doing this, and you say, okay, I want to go there. And then you say paste, right? We're doing this, right? And then you say perform fine. That was people were doing in FileMaker 2.0, okay? That we had to do to go to the, and I know people still doing this, okay? I know, okay? Why? Because there's plenty of old videos, old course online, and people, people don't reinvent themselves with new ways. So pretty much all of this can be removed and done with this guy. Pretty much, So that's why it is important to come here or anywhere else you want to go, but here's better. And you can learn how it should be done today. We don't care about 10 years ago. And you know what? There's things I was doing 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not doing anymore, okay? Because there's no new ways. I personally find more comfortable to do another way, right? Stuff like that. So you have to reinvent ourselves. This is our job here, to reinvent ourselves. And then we come here and we tell you, okay, by the way, you remember when you had to do all this crap? Okay, but now you don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to do that anymore. All this, you have new ways. So this is important. And the extend font set and the constraint font set are extremely powerful. Now, I'm using those, as I said, as a snipers. It's not something I'm using all the time. I don't need all the time this, but sometimes it's very valuable to have this.
The reason I still tend to lean towards the way you had it previously is because you can look at the code and see what the code does. Here, what it's doing is abstracted or otherwise the fog of war is covering it and you can't see what's actually happening, right? If you look at a bunch of code on a page, hundreds and hundreds of lines of code, and you need to know what this extrain or constrain is doing, you have no idea. You have to drill into it. And so if you happen to print the script and look at the script and you don't have it exposed, you are screwed. And so that's the downside of this. It's why I code the other way. It takes a lot more lines to do it. However, you can look at the code and you intuitively understand what it's trying to do.
That's why I'm saying most of the time, the best way is the way you feel comfortable with. Now, unfortunately, it arrives a moment where, you know, performance and efficiency, portability, you know, like copy and paste a script from one file to another of one or repurpose kind of you know, something. That's why I've eliminated completely most of the time. If you look at my code, I really never use perform file. Period. You know, so it's because I discover and I found many better ways to do that, and maybe we can do a session where I can explain. I started to explain a little bit, but we can have a session that could stay 2 days on this, how to get rid of perform file, you know, and make something like is, as you said, combining all what you like, discoverability, that's what you want, the discoverability, that means everything exposed, okay, without to have 2,000 lines of codes, actually much less line of code than even perform fine, and to have scripts that can be used and reused and abused, being what I call a universal script, and only the parameters is changing. Because here my concern with the perform fine, okay, and maybe that is why your method sometimes can be more useful, because you can.
Yeah, I don't specify any options in there. I do them all visually, manually.
Exactly.
Because here's the rub: is that once again, your exposure to exceed the data is entirely based upon your ability to see the little round gear checkbox there. That a line of code can really live beyond, in a standard way, live beyond a single line here, right? You see what I'm saying? So
So the what you want to do, what you want to achieve here, is pretty much. And actually, that's something you can even do this here now. This is completely our. This is completely our. What's the name?
What, portable, or what are you thinking about?
Yeah, portable. Because you can specify with calculation this, and then you perform the fine on whatever this does. Because you can say, oh, I want to set that field with calculation, with that data with calculation, and perform a fine on this. So that means this technique here, it's the perfect technique for what you want to achieve. To have, because the problem is FileMaker never wants to go there and rebuild this dialogue and make it scriptable, make it you know, have a specify. I want to specify here. I don't want this. I want specify. We cannot put anything here with calculation. So now we can with
I never use that. We never ever me personally drill down and set up their dialogues like that ever. So because you can't see it when you're looking at the code. Now, Brutterman's got a question here about the variable. I don't know if you've seen his question.
Yeah, variable. So you can do whatever variable you put here. It can be a variable, okay? So and you can do this. You know, pretty much. I'm calling the variable search criteria. So you can have multiple. You can have 1, you can have 2, and you can have 3. Right? So you can do this if you want. Okay. And so you have your criteria based on the calculation. That can be anything, you know, can be anything, okay? And then get rid of this, and then you say, okay, oh, by the way, I want the account ID to be, hold on. I want here, I want the account ID to be this.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I want the account ID to be this. Okay, and then I want the phone to be this. Hold on. So Let me do it again.
Yeah, I would do those as set field or set them.
Yeah. Exactly.
I
So
wouldn't set them in this dialogue because once again, then you're not going to see the criteria base in
Yeah,
there. It's just a
you don't see. You have restore. That's it. It's this. So and then you have this, and then you can have a constraint, and you say I want this. Okay, you want to constrain on this. So you want, for example, here it's not there. You want the phone to be constrained with this, okay? You want this to be an omit, and you want the last name or the first name, okay? The first name to be constrained with the free add. So you want pretty much exactly what I've done so far, right? So you do this. That is the problem is this is okay, but you still cannot say I want this field. And you cannot code that. This is hard-coded. We call that hard-coded. You cannot change that. The field name is a static. It's hard-coded. So I agree with you. Those dialogues, those dialogues need a major work on them.
Well, I could live with the dialogue, just the fact that you can't see it, right? I mean, if you've got to perform fine and you've got 5 options in there, then there should be 5 like indented lines below line 6, line 6A, 6 sign 6B, 6C, 6D indent. And so we can see all this code without going, because if we print this or take a screenshot of it, no one knows what's going on. If there's a performance benefit, then I have to decide whether I have to be able to read the code and have it go slower.
Exactly.
Which I choose a lot of times because I do efficiency in other areas. I choose that. Or I choose, we can't read the code. It's going to be this mysterious, magical shit, but it'll go really fast. Yes, FileMaker is so wonderful. And Nick is so brilliant. You can extend and constrain the found set. And if you look at this script, you won't see anything. But you don't need to see anything because FileMaker is smarter than you are. I appreciate all the help. Okay, yes, everyone?
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.